Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final event of the elimination tournament. The winner of this bout will emerge the champion. Introducing once again from the United States of America, an advocate of freestyle wrestling, here's the very popular Tom Erickson. And the opponent in this final bout of the night in the elimination tournament from Brazil, weighing in at 195 pounds, introducing Murilo Bustamante.
Well, gentlemen, we will see if your prediction holds true. They both like Tom Erickson, and they like him quickly.
Well, I didn't like Tom Erickson. Let me just correct that.
Okay.
Again, gun to my head, bustama, but not quickly.
But not quickly, okay.
How about you, Ron? What was your call? I called Bustamante also.
And the big man moves in quickly. And Bustamante tries to counter with inside punches.
And again, as we expected, Bustamante is working what's called an open guard. The legs are not wrapped around his back, but is using them to keep the big man away. The Brazilian's extremely adept at controlling with their feet, and that's just what he's trying to do here.
Again, he controls 280 pounds.
It's going to take time. But he's also up against the fence. He's trying to move away. That's uncomfortable.
And Erickson now has him in a compromising position.
Not as compromising as you might think. Bustamante, let's watch. We have a better camera angle here. Still not allowing the big man to take his side or to mount him. He's moving, he's pivoting on his back, keeping his legs wrapped around him, protecting his head, protecting his face right now.
Ron, what do you see here?
Well, notice how Bustamante is pushing against Tom with his legs, so he doesn't have to control.
And we've already seen that Erickson in his first match had difficulty when he had the man down, putting on a submission hold.
Well, freestyle wrestlers always have a hard time finishing in this type of event.
It says Bustamante is not having fun right here, but he's not as uncomfortable as you would think.
And he lands some right hands, and he's hurt the big man.
Again, working the open guard. He has his feet tucked underneath the big man. Working him, keeping him off, keeping position. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going for some type of arm lock later on as Erickson tires.
And Erickson loses for a moment, but then quickly regathers and maintains the advantage on top. But is it truly an advantage?
I feel not.
Against the Brazilians, it's never an advantage to be on the top.
Now, we've seen in the past where fighters, wrestlers have been very effective from this position, staying inside the guard and punching at will. The difference is Bustamante is experienced at this point. He's keeping him away. He's not allowing himself to get hit. Let's face it, 85 pounds lighter, you better fight a tactical fight.
Well, you're not going to be able to pick him up and drop him, that's for sure. All right, has Erickson's weight advantage yet taken a toll on Bustamante?
From my standpoint, not as much as you might think. He's a big man. He is applying pressure. But, again, Bustamante is trained for this. He's done this over years. He's done Vale Tudo, no holds barred in Brazil.
Bustamante looks very relaxed. He's just waiting for the right.
In fact, it looked like he was trying to pivot out on his side and take the big man's back. I wouldn't be surprised again if he used that tactic.
Once again, it's Bustamante who is throwing inside punches with the right hand.
Erickson is not inflicting damage with this.
And right now, in somewhat of a stalemate position, although the right arm with punches inside by Bustamante is still working.
Again, let's bring up the time limit. The Brazilians have objected to the time limit because here the much lighter man is not in bad shape. He wants to be able to work from this. So 30-minute time limit here. He has time to keep going.
And again, you see the big man, Erickson, attempting to use the right hand. And we must emphasize once again that this championship match has been extended to a 30-minute time limit. with what's happening right now, what do you see Bustamante attempting to do?
Looks like he's going for an arm lock. Or shoulder, right?
Now, I can't see it from here. He's certainly in position. He may be trying for... He's trying to hold that left arm. He's got his left arm. He's got his left arm. He's going for the lock. Perfect position for an arm lock right here.
Okay.
The big man extended his arm inside the guard, but he's given it up. He couldn't get it. Surely Erickson was most likely too strong. He flexed his arm and wouldn't allow it to be extended. But that's the risk, and the wrestlers know it from fighting inside the guard position.
They continue to be on the mat right near the fence area. It has been Erickson who has been on top the entire match.
It's interesting, when I spoke with Erickson, he said he was more comfortable in this position in the guard rather than being on the bottom, which is where you would typically expect a trained ground fighter, certainly a Brazilian jiu-jitsu style, to be more comfortable. He has said to me, though, that he's not looking to pass the guard to get out of this position for fear of giving up an arm lock, just as almost happened.
Ron, what's going through the fighters' heads right now? I mean, is one just trying to maintain and the other's trying to figure out a way to be the aggressor?
The Brazilian is just biding his time. He knows that Tom will eventually get tired because nothing's really happening.
Again, look at how well, look at the infighting. But to the casual observer, this is a stalemate. There's nothing going on. Bustamante is keeping a much bigger fighter off of him. His technique is allowing him to survive in this position. Look at how Bustamante wiggles out. He's giving himself distance. He's keeping his head away from Erickson's head. He's not taking headbutts. He's not taking blows.
The Brazilians, they're not in a rush. They take their time, they're patient, and eventually they will open up the trap door and you fall in.
And we also have to remind everybody about the extended 30-minute time limit due to the nature of this bout, a championship bout, extended to 30 minutes.
Again, recognize, too, you're seeing two superb competitors here. This is not your run-of-the-mill type of fight.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Alan. Bustamante trying to kick out. Erickson will not let it.
Yep, got a blow or two, but not much. And again, back in that open guard position, Bustamante using his feet, keeping Erickson off, maneuvering him.
Both men trying to stay in close contact so neither one can land a clean blow.
Erickson trying to pass the guard. He's trying to get out of that position.
Would Erickson be more comfortable if they were away from the circle area right there and more out in the center of the ring?
Actually, that doesn't make any difference at this point. Notice how Bustamante is controlling Erickson's leg to keep him from moving.
Bustamante's left leg, as Ron says, is tucked inside the right leg of Erickson. His right leg is trapped outside Erickson's left leg. He'll constantly switch, he'll constantly move. He won't stay in one position.
And Erickson once again trying to use that advantage in weight, 280 pounds, on top of Bustamante.
Let's face it, this again is no fun. Bustamante is coiled up. He's got a big man on top of him.
Once again, we'll remind everybody, a 30-minute time limit, and again, Erickson stands up.
Now there's a leg trap. Right now, Bustamante has the right leg. Can he get the leg lock? He needs to get distance, push Erickson off. He's trying to crank. He's trying,
and he couldn't get it.
Unable to get it. The man is just too big and strong. They're back in that same position.
And we're talking about a man in Tom Erickson at 280 pounds. And it is proportioned very well about his entire body. A thick chest, big hips, and strong legs.
And he's using his weight effectively, too.
once again, it has been Erickson who has been on top the entire time.
But watch Bustamante. He's trapping that left arm of Erickson's right now. See his right hand preventing a headbutt. He's actually not even using his left arm right now. But watch that left arm of Erickson. That's the type of position that might allow Bustamante to take advantage of that into some type of arm lock. So you can extend the big man.
And a wicked right hand, that time by Bustamante on Erickson. And he continues to throw.
That left hand keeping him close, not letting him get distance.
10 minutes in the ring seems like a year.
I was just going to bring that up. They have gone 10 minutes, and they have been together the entire 10 minutes. There's been no break for either fighter here. No break from one another.
And Bustamante is fighting an excellent tactical fight. Much lighter.
Again, you see Erickson spread out wide.
You know, we've seen that move used before, that knee to the buttocks, used before by wrestlers in this position finding themselves unable to or unwilling to get out of the position inside the guard.
Once again, it is Erickson on top, Bustamante in the bottom position, and they have been that way ever since about the first 10 seconds as the fight began.
And the longer the Brazilian is on the bottom, and the longer the match goes, the advantage goes to the Brazilian, because he's in control.
And the weight factor will not become a factor at that time?
I don't believe so. They're used to being in that position.
I agree with Ron. I think it'll become less of a factor. Again, this is not to trivialize what's going on here. These fighters are looking very good.
Oh, yes, they are.
Look at that left hand. He's preventing the headbutt. Bustamante on one hand is keeping him close, on the other hand far enough away. Now, again, from our camera angle, I got excited. It looked like he was ready to
I could tell.
escape from that position.
But it is Erickson who refuses to let him get up. Once again, their heads are pressed right up against the metal netting there. They are right by Bustamante's corner, which is where you hear all the instructions.
We'll translate that Portuguese for you later. Jim will be happy to do that.
I was going to give it over to Ron for that one.
The next event will have subtitles.
There you go.
It takes an unbelievable amount of endurance to maintain performance at this time.
Ron, we're talking about two really tough guys here, aren't we?
Extremely conditioned, well-conditioned athletes.
And speaking with Bustamante, he's been doing this for 22 years. So he's been doing it since he was a child. He's used to this. Not to diminish the punishment he's taking right here and the fact that he's doing so well, so effectively against the big man, but he's been doing it since he was a child. That's the only thing that allows him to be so effective against an Olympic quality competitor.
All right, instructions from the referee to continue to keep working. And you would think now that we've passed the 13-minute mark that there is some fatigue beginning to set in.
And you know, Tom is a 3-time Olympic alternate, so you know he's got everything it takes to work and win this match.
And again, sliding back. Erickson trying to turn him up a little bit.
Actually, if you look at Bustamante, he's on his side here. He's on his left side. He's working an angle. Perhaps he can get out. Perhaps he can slide out from here and take the big man's back. He doesn't want to stay on his back if he can help it. So he's starting to angle. He's starting to move. Something Renzo Gracie does so very well.
That time it's the left leg shots into the buttocks area, and that hurts.
Yes, they will. Bustamante has not changed his position. He's still angled. He's still on his side.
14 minutes left for all the money.
Referee indicating to the wrestlers 14 minutes left for all the money. Ron, when you're in the ring, when you hear something like that, what does that do to you? Does that trigger something?
Well, if you're not tired, it allows you to get the enemy the second wind that you need in order to really function.
When you were grappling,
There he is.
There he is. He's almost out.
Did not get out.
And Erickson refused to let him up.
Back in the open guard.
When did the fatigue set in for you, and how quickly then did you get the second win?
Well, if you're a stand-up fighter, you don't have much wind. It takes a couple of minutes. If Tom wasn't such a well-conditioned athlete, it would have been over by now.
Wow.
We've seen it end for other wrestlers much earlier than this. Dan Severn fighting Royce Gracie. It was over in a matter of minutes.
17 minutes.
Well, a matter of 17 minutes, Ron. I still have a minute left here.
Once again, they have been over in Bustamante's corner the entire time in this bout.
Listen to the power of those shots. And Bustamante is not even acknowledging it at all.
You know, the wrestlers are also learning. I was talking to Tom Erickson. He's been watching tape. He's been watching film. The early fighters in this type of event didn't know what they were up against. Erickson's been watching film. He's been studying. He's been working. He's been working with Mark Coleman. He knows what to try not to do to stay in here and be effective and win.
I'm sure he also realizes one mistake and it could be over quickly, too.
And that's what this is about. It's the chess game in the circle of two.
Get up, man! Get up!
Referee right on top of the action. And once again, both combatants entangled with each other as they have been ever since this match began. You hear the referee in the ring instructing the grapplers that they have to move. They have to move.
30-minute time limit keeps looming. It's getting closer and closer.
This is for the championship of the elimination tournament.
Come on, guys, let's go.
With an extended time limit to 30 minutes. Bustamante and Erickson.
This points out something else. For years when we talked about martial arts, scholastic or freestyle wrestling was never included amongst them. And what fighters like Schultz and Coleman and now Erickson are showing is that they are very effective as fighters as well as sports competitors.
12 minutes, draw. The judges.
And the combatants are talking to the referee, asking who's judging. Ron, did you ever do that in the middle of a match?
No.
They were instructed they have, well, close now to 11 and a half minutes left to go in the time limit.
This is so exhausting, Jim.
Let's see, distance, and now he's out.
He's done them up. And here they go again.
The Brazilian looks fresher. Erickson looks tired. But don't go good.
looking for the other to make a mistake.
Ron, do you think they're resting here?
I think they're both tired, but I don't think they're resting. They do not want to make a mistake. At this point in time, if you make a mistake, it is over.
I can tell you this, guys. Great respect right now between these two fighters.
Mind drain, physical drain, spiritual drain, everything.
And down goes Bustamante again, and he lets him back up. And Bustamante now
He's not going to go back to the floor.
Everything Erickson said, he's been practicing his jabs and crosses. He wants that.
I think he realizes that if he's going to win, he's going to win in the center standing up.
How interesting, though, that a freestyle wrestler is finding himself more comfortable now standing than supine on the ground. Say that.
Bustamante.
We just received word that if they're still fighting, the fight will not stop at 30 minutes. It will continue.
Okay, that word just in. The official word. And Erickson decided to go back and then back on.
Look at this.
I mean, it's apparent that Tom doesn't want to go back to the floor because he knows in that position he will lose eventually.
Standing, he has reach, distance, and power. He has every advantage over Bustamante.
Tom is taking a lot of shots, too.
Bustamante immediately goes down. What's that, Ron?
Tom does not want to go to the floor. And Bustamante doesn't want to get up.
He doesn't want to stay. I was just going to say it's the other way around. Well, this now has turned into a very tactical match.
Extremely so. But again, think about the irony of this. You have a man 285 pounds who doesn't want to go to the ground with a man weighing so much less, weighing 90 pounds less.
85 pounds lighter.
Well, you indicated, Alan, that he has looked at his game tape, so to speak. He has studied, and he realizes, obviously, that that is not his strongest position with this guy.
Both men are fighting they're fighting an intelligent fight from each of their points of view.
The Brazilians are so good on the floor.
Look at Erickson. Come and box with me.
Well, you know, we're seeing something new tonight here. Reality super fighting.
Minutes. This is unbelievable.
With what is taking place here, have both men rested sufficiently?
Actually, Bustamante is resting. Tom is trying to figure out what to do, so that's very frustrating.
Tom's looking at his corner.
His corner just said, stay away, you're doing the right thing.
Of course, with your command of Portuguese, you can tell us what the Brazilian guys
I'm sorry, I'm lost on that one.
I bet it would be stay on the ground.
Well, he hasn't moved from that position.
Well, these are more the postures we'd expect from a kicker, punch, or a striker on fighting with someone like Bustamante than a wrestler like this.
Ron, have you ever been involved in a match that has turned like this?
Never in the history of my time in the martial arts. You know, when I fought in this type of event, I wanted to be in a grappling position with the Brazilian stylist. It is apparent that Tom does not want to be in the guard again.
And we have been informed once again that if there is not a declared winner at the end of 30 minutes, the time period will be extended. Will that have an impact on what we're seeing right
The longer
now?
the time extends, the less chance Tom has of winning. That's my belief. What do you think, Alan?
I would agree with you, Ron. I think the longer the time goes, the more it's in the Brazilians' favor.
Interesting that Erickson circles. Now he decides to go and wrap him up and then get a few hits in and escape.
Tried very hard to take his side. Tried to get that cross-side position on Bustaman's thought just too good.
I mean, Tom is using strategy now. He knows that he cannot contend with the Brazilian on the floor.
And make no mistake, the Brazilians can lie on their back, put their hands behind their head, and use their feet very effectively to keep someone not trained in this style of fighting away and off.
Well, it's painfully obvious what you spoke about, how Erickson indeed has done his homework.
Very much so. Remember, there was a close call earlier. There was an attempted armbar. Bustamante was in position. Only Erickson's strength kept him from keeping it.
Erickson again dives in, gets in a couple of shots, and now Bustamante comes to his feet.
That's exactly what Tom wanted.
And he tries to attack it, does, and immediately Bustamante goes down.
Was he hit down? Is that a right hand that took him down?
Just a quick throw, yeah.
Now, this points out what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was developed for. It was developed to allow the smaller man to compete with the bigger man. It wasn't developed to look pretty or to end in 5 minutes or be flashy, but it does allow the smaller man to compete against the bigger man.
In Brazil, these fights traditionally go an hour.
And Erickson decides he's going to back off and listen to his corner. The referee in the ring trying to institute some action and not getting it. And as Ron and Alan have indicated, this is the first time that these two gentlemen have ever seen anything quite like this.
Look how Bustamante kept him up. Took a shot or two, but he kept the big man away. But look, Erickson is trying. These guys are fighting their hearts out.
For the money, guys, let's make it.
Well, we're nearing that 30-minute mark, and once again, we have been told that the match will continue. It will not stop at the 30-minute mark if there is not a declared winner. And boy, this one has really brought the crowd into it, guys, that's for sure.
Now, the American crowds are not used to seeing this type of fighting that they're seeing now. But hopefully they'll appreciate the tactical nature of this fight. Two superb competitors.
It is only strategy and tactics that can win this event.
Now, in contradistinction to so many other events that we've seen, we really have skilled competitors here at the top of their game.
Again, Erickson in, delivers, and gets away.
Well, I think those blows were good, Ron. Those got in and out.
Hammer fist down to the face, that always works.
In and out. And as a strategy, that looks effective.
And actually, this would be the correct way to fight a Brazilian fighter. Don't go to the floor.
Once again, it is Erickson circling and Bustamante on his back.
Erickson is not our typical competitor, too. I mean, Bustamante respects him tremendously to be lying on his back in this position, refusing to stand up and take him down.
It is extremely hard to take down someone 85 pounds heavier than you are.
Yes.
Especially a freestyle Olympic class athlete.
And we have seen some of his power moves, and quickly he strikes and then gets away again.
So, Ron, you wouldn't recommend I challenge him after this?
No.
Erickson delivers again on Bustamante. That's Erickson circling. Bustamante staying down.
To me, Erickson's heart really shows here. The man does not stop trying to get in.
And I know Tom's legs are going to be sore tomorrow.
Yes, they will from those kicks. And a couple of good shots there.
Looks like that.
I mean, Tom can actually win with this type of strategy.
And it's an interesting strategy. Ron, I can't say I've seen this before.
Nor have I.
You can see the redness around the knees of Erickson and also on his high thighs.
Ron, if you're Oleg Taktarov, were you watching this match and taking notes?
Without a doubt.
Now that would be interesting if that happened right
I do not
away.
believe that Henzo would ever do anything like this, though.
No, I think Henzo's a much more aggressive fighter, but still, Erickson is pointing out opportunities that we haven't seen in the past with the Brazilian style.
Well, we have been told now that this fight will be extended for 40 minutes, so there will be 10 minutes more in this fight. If there is not a decision in this fight, that will be the time limit, 40 minutes. So we have a little less than 10 minutes remaining. In fact, the corners now have just been told, and now they are instructing their respective fighters.
And I see Mark Coleman in Tom's corner.
Imploring him to go for it.
And Erickson is taking his time and picking his spots. Erickson continuing to circle. Bustamante staying on the mat. Something that has basically befuddled our experienced announcing team because they have never seen it before.
I've never seen anything like this in the history of reality-based fighting.
Nor have I. Not that I haven't been befuddled before, but I've not seen this before.
We have been also instructed that if indeed this goes to a draw, they will split the loser's purse. There will not be a winner's purse delivered. They will split the loser's purse. And it is Erickson again trying to get in.
With left hand.
And Bustamante content to stay down. And deliver a kick here and there.
And again, Erickson's corner telling him to go for it.
8 minutes left in this bout. Erickson still taking his time.
Well, actually, Tom has taken a lot of time to rest. If he wanted to go to the floor, he'd be perfectly able to now. Yes.
Do you think that second wind
I
is back?
expect to see him.
And there again, he dives in. He dives in and then quickly escapes.
Yeah, he tried to follow his corner's advice, Coleman's advice. Again, Bustamante's defense kept him away.
Do your best, guys. 8 minutes left.
Once again, this is a 40-minute time limit, and that's it. It was originally scheduled as a championship bout at 30 minutes. We have passed that. They have given the fighters an extra 10 minutes to see if a decision can be rendered in this bout. If not, it'll be declared a draw, and they will split the loser's purse. And again, Erickson quickly to the attack and then escaping.
It seems at this late stage, neither fighter is willing to take a chance. Nor can they be blamed. They seem to have each hit on something that's working for them.
In other words, if this did not have a definitive time limit, we could be here for a long time.
We could be here forever.
And we still have the big fight to go.
Has anybody called for takeout?
Could we see Erickson give in and go to the mat with, say, maybe 3 minutes left?
I believe that eventually Tom will go to the floor.
This is for all the money, guys.
Come on, push your head. Get on top of him. Get him over here.
Once again, Erickson quickly in and then out.
You know, it's not that easy. Erickson's trying to get to the Brazilian side. But watch how the Brazilian is able to pivot and turn his hips. He's not letting him get to his side to get in and throw those blows. He's trying.
Just go for it.
Well, we talked about the 3-minute mark. We just hit the 5-minute mark right now.
Get on him. Get on him.
Erickson once again stepping back, reassessing the situation. Not rushing, trying to pick a spot. Bustamante content to stay with the kicks. There's Erickson in and out. Once again, this is the championship of the elimination tournament. Bustamante and Erickson.
It's really the fight we've been waiting for.
These athletes should be commended. They're doing a brilliant job of strategy and tactics.
The last thing I'd like to see is someone condemn these fighters for a lack of action. What they've done is put on a tremendous performance for us.
And Erickson finally down and attacking.
Raining low. All that weight now is being used to his advantage.
And he's trying to lock him up right now. But I believe the Brazilian has the arm in there.
Absolutely. And he's back in the guard.
Back to the guard.
Bustamante has taken punishment.
Well, we've seen this position before, guys.
We're no longer befuddled.
No, we're not. We passed that stage, too. Well, we talked about Erickson maybe trying to go after him and hit the mat again at about the 3-minute mark. He went after him at the 4-minute mark.
And the Brazilian can't be expected to trade blows with a man that's much bigger. He's fighting the only fight he can fight.
Once again, the referee indicating that he'd like to see a little more action. But you are looking at two tired athletes right now.
And in 3 minutes, who knows what's going to happen.
Once again, we'll remind you that it has been decreed that they will split the loser's purse. Not the winner's share, but the loser's purse. And Bustamante peering up at the big guy, Erickson. Chance of USA raining down upon the circle of truth. As we head to the 2-minute mark left in this bout. And there it is.
Carlson Gracie himself checking his watch. He's shouting instructions.
Again, Erickson looking for an avenue to attack. And then again backs off. Once again, Ron, even in a short time frame that we have left, one single mistake, though, could be the undoing.
And that's how this goes, too.
So down to a minute and a half.
Again, the kicks delivered by Bustamante.
Look at the bruises on Tom's
I
leg.
was just going to say the welts have appeared all over, as a matter of fact. Again, he looks for an opportunity and tries to get in and then escapes again.
He's trying to get to the Brazilian side. He won't let him take that side position.
Well, we're inside of a minute left. Inside of a minute. Erickson, Bustamante. the championship match of the elimination tournament.
Bustamante is fighting the only fight that he could fight at this time.
If he stood up, he would be at Erickson's mercy.
Absolutely.
Erickson quickly attacking.
In and out, it's worked for him. But let's not minimize that weight differential. This man has stayed in for 40 minutes, weighing almost 100 pounds less.
Inside of 10 seconds. Now it's 5 seconds remaining in the match, and this one is going to end without a winner. And that's it. Erickson, Bustamante go 40 minutes in the ring.
Neither one clearly happy with the outcome.
And they will both share the losers' picks.
Once again, medical treatment being immediately delivered to Bustamante. Erickson doesn't seem to be as bad off as Bustamante is at this particular time. All right, here will be the Bustamante escape as they continue to attend to Bustamante in the ring. And there is some confusion right now. I think just the different crews for the respective fighters have tried to, I think they have just discovered exactly what has happened. And it will be declared a draw. And right now, let's go up to the ring. And here's Chuck Hall.
Due to the running out of the time limit of 40 minutes, this bout has been declared a draw.
Not a happy decision, but from either camp, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you, that's quite a shiner that Bustamante's working on right there on the right side. He took some blows.
All right, we saw this early with Erickson on top for about 10 minutes, and then came the escape.
Working the open guard position. Actually, Erickson backed off. Erickson got tired of being in that guard, unable to do anything, and he just gave him the distance.
And then again, this is what we saw through much of the remaining fight. Bustamante down, Erickson up, and then Erickson attempting to attack and then running away.
This was that new tactic we were talking about that seemed to be working effectively for him as the fight progressed.
Once again, you see Erickson on the attack and delivering and then escaping from Bustamante's kicks. And the permits ends in a draw. All right, right now, let's go to Julie, who has Tom Erickson. Julie?
Tom, this is your first no-holds-barred event. Tell me how you feel about the draw.
Oh, a little disappointed, you know. I mean, it's kind of awkward having a guy lay on his back and not want to fight. I mean, I understand that's his great position, and the jiu-jitsu likes that position. But when a guy, when you're hearing a show like this for, the money that these guys are paying us, we need to go for it. Stand on our feet, take your chances, and let's go. Don't lay on the ground. I don't think that's what the people here paid to see, or the people out in the pay-per-view land paid to see. It's disappointing. I'm excited, to get in here and fight a guy of a Brazilian caliber, but a little disappointing. But, hey, I'll be back. This is great. I like this stuff.
Now, you talked to me in the beginning about endurance and how important conditioning was. You had a very long match, your first match. This match went 40 minutes. What kind of role did that play?
That first guy I fought, man, that Russian was tough. I mean, you looked at him get up, and I couldn't believe he took that much punishment. But, hey, these people are tough. They don't get into this business if they're not tough. So, hey, I thought I took some shots, too. I got a few lumps in the back of my head, too. But, hey, that's what the sport's all about. That's what the people pay to see.
Well, very impressive match. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Craig?
Appreciate it. Can I say hi to all my softball buddies, my family, Randy, Bodie, everybody out there, my family. Hey, I love you guys, and I'll be home tomorrow.
They certainly deserve to say hi. Craig?
Thank you,